So this is our last day in Rome. We're leaving tomorrow morning and I just wanted to share my thoughts because I think the more I've been traveling to European countries, the more things I start to appreciate about life in America. And I wanted to tell you some of the pros and cons I've noticed. So the first one is convenience. Here, a lot of the stores, like grocery stores, pharmacies, restaurants, close a lot earlier. In America, there are a lot of businesses that will be open sometimes 24/7, or at least close a lot later. That feels more accessible in comparison, especially as a tourist. You know, you want to get, let's say, a snack, like let's say you're really hungry and all of the restaurants are closed. You may think, okay, I'll go to a pharmacy. I don't know, I'll get an energy bar and the pharmacies are closed. Everything's closed. However, the portion sizes here, it's very refreshing to see normal portions. In America, we have this, obesity problem. The plates are usually huge. I could never finish it. Here, you get a normal amount of food, which is great. Now, this is a big one. The customer service. I think in America, in my opinion, right, it's the best. They're more attentive, it's more fast-paced, they're more accommodating. Here, it takes quite a while to get your food, and then you have to wait a while for a drink you may have ordered. The check takes a long time, and that's fine. I think that's more of the culture, is a slower pace of life. So that really just depends on your personality, what you're used to, what you're looking for. And that, of course, is going to be a different story than if you're living here and you have that time. But again, as a tourist, when you just want to go explore other places, it's a bit difficult to have to wait that long. The customer service, when you ask them something, kind of like a shock to them sometimes. I don't know, like let's say I want to get sauce on the side and ask, can I get sauce on the side? Is that possible? And there's just there's a bit of attitude everywhere I've been so far. It's not as bad as France. When I was in France, actually, as soon as English leaves your mouth, the servers do not usually like you. They don't like Americans. Not all, of course, but from experience, they're not the biggest fans. Actually, I remember when I was in Paris, we asked for a to-go box. I'm sorry, I didn't know you guys don't do that there. My bad, right? Like, I think just logically, if someone asks you for a to-go box, you don't do that in your country. Or maybe it was just this restaurant, I don't know. But you would think, okay, just tell the customer, no, sorry, we don't do that. A simple no is fine. This look of like disgust, like I literally just asked him a crazy ass question. I just asked if I could take this to go with me. It's not that serious, I promise you. But to him, he was like offended. I don't know why. And yeah, the service there was interesting. It's not like that here in Italy. No, the people are much nicer. I don't think they care if you're American. It's not that same kind of I don't know what it is about France. A lot of the people get, not all, I'm not saying all French people are like that. I'm just saying from experience, if they hear English, you lose no matter what, because if you try to speak French, they're annoyed that you're butchering it and that it sounds wrong. And if you don't try to speak French, they're like, why are you speaking to me in English? This is France. Like, I know. So what do you want me to do? Do you want me to try to speak French because I can't speak French? Or should I say it in English? And then you get upset either way. Anyways, a bit of a rant. We're in Italy, we're not in France. It's not like that here. But if you do ask for a little change, it's a big deal. They usually can't do it, which is fine. Like, I'm a tourist here. This is your country. You do you. It's just when they give me attitude. I got into a bit of a fight with this one waiter. We were sitting down and I ordered the sandwich and he gave me a completely different sandwich. And I said, hey, sorry, sir, but I ordered this one. Could I get this one? Because that's what I ordered. He's like, no, what do you mean? You ordered this. What? No, I didn't. I did not. And actually, I have two witnesses here that I ordered this one. So could I please get this sandwich? And he literally like waved his hands in my face. I was like, do not wave your hands in my face, please. And he just kind of like walked off, like, oh, he was talking to himself. I don't think this is an American or Italian thing, or at least it shouldn't be. If you mess up my order, I think you should get me the right order. I did get my sandwich and the sandwich was good. That was a crazy experience, yeah. But like I said, overall, it's fine. People are nice. Oh, and then Alex's phone died and I think he asked like 2 people on this trip in total if he could charge his phone there and like leave it with them. And they said yeah, so that's also a very nice thing. Very kind, and everything is fine. It's like, sometimes it's a bit of a surprise the way that the servers interact with you. And it's not just here, but it is here as well. Something else I've learned to appreciate about America is the space, okay, in different buildings. So, for example, I might have shown you in the beginning, the elevators in our hotel, I think it can fit maximum 3 people. If you're fat, go alone. Do not let anyone else in the elevator. I'm telling you, if you have claustrophobia, I'm just thinking that's a disaster because it's so small. And then also the restrooms in restaurants, wherever you're going, will tend to be very, very small. The streets are obviously narrow. Driving here is a bit difficult, but we already knew that, and we took the car so that we can get out of the city. But just keep that in mind if you are renting a car. Also, AC and heating. So thankfully, it's not too hot because it's not summer. It's already, October. Just don't expect establishments to always have AC. Now let's talk about the opposite. So again, with the slower pace of life, that whole process of getting your meal, that being slower, I could totally see how people could prefer that. Plus the food here is amazing. If you drink wine, I don't, but I hear it's great. However, I've also heard that the coffee here is great, and there's this, espresso culture along with the wine culture. I'm gonna offend people I know, but what's new? I'm used to that by now. But I don't like the coffee here. I've had a cappuccino. I've had an iced cappuccino because I asked, do you guys have any iced coffee? And they kind of looked at me like, yeah, we can do an iced cappuccino. It's like, oh, great. So I got an iced cappuccino. It was a drink. It was something. And then I ordered an espresso today. So I've had maybe at least 5 coffee beverages so far. I didn't like any of them. Or actually, okay, one cappuccino was pretty good. And these are all beverages from different places. So there's that. The thing is, a lot of it is very watery. We could have just been getting coffee from not the best places. I don't know. I got so desperate for a good cup of coffee that I thought, okay, well, I like Starbucks. Oh yeah, but I do. And so I thought, okay, let me find the nearest Starbucks. That was a bit of a hassle. All the Starbucks places were closed and the nearest one was at the train station. So actually I waited till we had to return the car, and I got a Starbucks drink. I got a pumpkin cream cold brew. I get that all the time. And it was so bad. It was so bad. It was actually like the worst drink I've ever gotten from Starbucks. I feel bad saying it because the people there were very nice and it looked pretty good, and it tasted like half of it was water. All of the coffee here tastes odd. But that Starbucks drink especially, maybe that was a mistake getting Starbucks here. People were getting it though. There were lines there, but maybe we've just been unlucky with our coffee. But yeah, I'm always gonna be honest with you, and that's just been my experience. Moving on again to the pros. The architecture, of course. The art, sculptures, incredible, obviously. This is why, the main reason why people come to Rome in the first place, not to find a good Starbucks drink. Also, the produce here is very fresh, and this is very important. The actual food quality is a lot better. A lot of the vegetables here, you could just tell they're fresh. Also, the towns and cities are very walkable. So you can park your car. Maybe you don't have a car, that's fine. And it's very easy to get from point A to point B. That's not always the case in American cities. It could be actually quite difficult if you don't have a car in certain areas. So that's something I appreciate here and in a lot of European cities. Not only that, when you do walk, you see, again, beautiful architecture. In America, that can be kind of depressing. The kinds of buildings we have are not always pleasant to the eye. In fact, it can make you just sad. Seeing some of those buildings, kind of like Legos, right? Just like block after block, and they're just the same. And of course, the nature is beautiful. I think Tuscany was my favorite. Also, the Amalfi Coast was beautiful. Actually, driving to the Amalfi Coast and some of the coast itself reminded me a lot of California on the coast as well. What was that coast called? When I was with Brendan, I remember, yeah, so Big Sur, Bixby Creek Bridge, I remember that. That drive, gorgeous, and kind of reminded me of that. So yeah, overall loved it. Like I said, beautiful nature, architecture is amazing, the museums are great. I'd give my trip here a 7 out of 10. I guess I'm rating things now, so 7 out of 10. If you guys have ever been to Italy or want to come here, make sure you comment below and subscribe so that you can see my next video. Bye!